Joe Budden is a retired rapper. He is known for being surly and profane. Recently, though, he did something that Christians in particular can learn from. I'm a country boy. I know better than most that a dirty garden hose can deliver some splendid water. In other words, I'm not going to miss a message because the messenger doesn't act like a seraphim. Joe Budden was working for a multimedia music organization named Complex as an independent contractor. He was a host for a show entitled Everyday Struggle. The show evolved into a hip-hop phenomenon. It became must-see viewing for both old and young hip-hop aficionados. In business, always remember that attention translates into dollars for someone. Therein lies the rub. Complex attempted to keep that money for the corporate entity while offering Mr. Budden a disproportionate slice of the revenue. So Mr. Budden, knowing his worth, walked away from Complex and his hit show. A less vulgar version of his mantra is that creatives should eliminate the middleman whenever possible in this new internet era. Joe believes that he can create this same show anywhere, which eliminates the leverage of large corporations. He is absolutely correct. You might be asking, what the heck does this have to do with Christianity? Thanks for asking. Joe has an expression that I have preached and wrote on before. He frequently says, do it for the culture.
Joe Budden only cares about the forwarding of the culture, Angel Diaz. It ain't about the podcast. I care about rap.
His primary driver in life is not money. It is hip-hop, his art. Likewise, our primary driver in life is not money either. We don't necessarily do it for the culture. We do it for the kingdom. Like Joe, we all need money, though, to pay for our passions. On a smaller financial scale, we have to navigate through the waters of corporate America and our own individuality. Our commonality is that we are dealing with people who are all about the money, while we have a higher sensibility. The Apostle Paul encouraged the church to do the same thing that Brother Budden did. In the book of Corinthians, Paul addresses the state that many Christians found themselves in: slavery. He says basically, don't allow slavery to become your identity. Don't work for, quote unquote, the man. Work for Christ in your hearts. Then Paul, the revolutionary, slides in some revolutionary verbiage under the noses of the emperors. Paul in 1 Corinthians 7 verse 21 says, but if you have an opportunity to get free, take it. I believe more Christians need to get their Joe Budden on. Not everyone, but more of us. If you have a mortgage and work in corporate America, then do it as if you were working for Jesus himself. However, if you can get free from the J-O-B, just over broke, and exert your independence from man's system, then do it. I believe there are too many Christians with a plantation mindset. We don't want to think and do for ourselves. We are in many cases doing all the work for a middleman who is doing nothing but collecting a check from our hard labor. In many employment instances, the only difference between the boss and employee is risk and faith, not intelligence or skill. We are tasked with establishing the kingdom. True, we need people working on the inside of the Babylonian palace, inside the system. We also need people from the outside as well. Jesus is free, but ministry is expensive. Ecclesiastes says that money moves all things. Entrepreneurship is an excellent way to grow your circle of influence and create opportunities for others. In our recent American history, abolition occurred through the winsome waves of slaves on the plantation and the freedmen from the North that funded the pathway to freedom. The same pattern of redemption is needed for our kingdom work today. The process begins, though, when children of God know their worth and potential.